to do here is to pin top of the sleeve notch to shoulder sleeve, the seam. This is the most important notch on the sleeve. Okay, I call it boss of all notches here. Okay. This is the first thing you pin to armhole. So I'm going to align correct side to correct side, and now I'm going to go to the wrong side like this and continue pinning from the wrong side and watching exactly my center of the sleeve to align to a shoulder notch. Believe it or not, little push this way or this way will completely change how the sleeve is going to hang. Exactly, these two belong together. And this is center of the sleeve notch. It's not the grain line. It's the quarter away from the grain line notch, center of the sleeve.
So the only notch that we made on the sleeve at the top, right?
That's the one at the top, and it's supposed to be quarter away from the grain line to the front. Okay, so that's the first thing you pin. Now from here you go directly down and pin underarm. Underarm seam aligned to a side seam of the garment precisely too, you see? Seam to seam. And you pin. Usually when you pin to vertical seam, you pin directly into a seam line like this. Okay. Now, after these two, I'm going to pin single notch to single notch. And if you see single notch facing double notch, what do you have to do? Stop, because you're setting left sleeve into right armhole. Okay, you put them back to the front. Single notch to single notch. Then double notch will face double notch. And because the both front and bodice and the sleeve, they got them at 3.5 position, they're supposed to align exactly. Yeah. And then see how you spread your shearing. Maybe there is a little pull more needed. Looks like maybe a little bit more I need to pull. Where's these tails? Just a teeny bit more. Pull. Because your sleeve needs to be exactly the same size as the armhole. A little bit more. Pull. Oops, exactly the same, you see? Now all I have to do is spread the shearing so there is no bunches anywhere. So it diminishes gradually to the notch. Looks like this will do. And maybe one more pin I will set in here. Same I'm going to do on the other side. I'm going to check. Looks like this is perfect already. You see nothing needs to be done. It's already aligned beautifully. Pin. Okay, now I'm ready to set sleeve. If you need more pins, you're welcome to do, but otherwise it's plenty, it's enough, okay? So when you set sleeve, you always put sleeve down to the machine, face down. Why? Because the feed dog got those sharp teeth, okay? And feed dog has tendency to shrink fabric, to shear already, okay? And because we have shearing on this side, the feed dog is going to help us to spread the shearing as we saw. Okay, and on this side you'll also have a better view of seam allowance because it doesn't have a shearing, it's nice and clean. Right? So face down, sleeve down to the machine. And you're going to start underarm. Let's put the tail away. I already changed to 2.5, and if you forgot to change, you will feel that machine will get fast. Okay, I'll kind of step away because stitches are large. 1/2 inch seam allowance, you will watch for the edge of the fabric to align to 1/2 inch ruler line, and make sure that both layers are aligned precisely. Because if the one overlaps the other one, the bodice or sleeve getting wrong seam allowance. Okay, they're supposed to be both with 1/2 inch.
Where do you start sewing from?
Underarm. Underarm, yeah. I'm going to backstitch when I will meet the seam from the other side. Do not rush here. Make sure again that bodice and sleeve align precisely at the edge and both getting 1/2 inch seam allowance. As you saw, you're going to remove pinning because I pin on the sleeve side. So I need to remove, otherwise the needle can break if I step on it. So I'm watching for both to be happening, seam allowance. And because our two shearing stitches are still 1/8 away from the seam, they both will be hitting. I don't have to worry about them. Most of the times they're getting removed, but lots of times they remain also in the garments because they just simply before actual seam line. There's no need to remove them. Now you're reaching the shearing now part. So always pick underneath and see if you don't create no pleating. Because sometimes, you know, it can bunch while you work with it and you can create pleats. The cap's supposed to be nice and round. There is no pleating unless you design so, and we did not here, okay? It's a basic cap line. Remove. Make sure the machine will not pull the seam allowances to one side. Just watch for that. You see it's kind of trying to run away, giving me 1/16 different alignment. Okay, so align them to the edge. And keep doing the same thing all the way around. Till you will reach underarm, right where you started. So for next class, you're supposed to have both sleeves set. Your zipper is 24 inches length, yeah? The one you got. And now you can backstitch under the arm, okay? Security of your seam. Again, if you want to pull these out, you do. Otherwise, just cut these tails, because you don't need them anymore. Next step is pressing. You need to press cap. I want everybody to see how